Indigenous community. I have an update about that Native Indigenous Creek Conservatory that I spoke about a couple weeks ago. Reference to their Native depictions on the pipe project, not having Lenape or any Indigenous artist representation, also questioning where the funds go for their fundraising, as well as their upcoming gala. So, recap. I sent an email to the Creek Conservatory questioning all these things. Their executive director, I will repeat that again, their executive director responded to me. Well, I figure I'm just going to read the email verbatim instead of trying to give a brief synopsis of it so you can see all the context, all the details, and see what's next. Here we go. I appreciate you reaching out and following up. First, apologies for not responding to your message on social media. As you can imagine with the dinner, we've been very focused on that, and as a result haven't been monitoring our social media as closely as we normally would. To answer your question regarding the involvement of the Lenape artists and Lenape tribe/nation, I forwarded your question to the board member and Eco Art co-chair, Sarah CC'd, who also led the restoration efforts this year. Sarah has been involved with, I don't want to say the organization, but I'll repeat that. She's been involved with blank for years and can speak to the involvement of the Lenape in our work better than I can, as it was before my time as director. As director and having spoken with Sarah, I can say blank would appreciate any future opportunities to collaborate with Indigenous artists and educators where our work overlaps, and if there are suggestions you or the nation may have for future collaborations, we would be a willing partner. Once again, thank you for reaching out and the accountability on the matter. Kathleen, Executive Director. Okay, big red flag. How can you be the Executive Director of an organization, a company, a nonprofit, a brand, and not know anything? Personally, I have been a president, I have been a director, I have been on a board, and I have numerous businesses, so I would know the answer to all the questions that I asked. You really don't have any business being a director if you don't have the answers. She also didn't answer a single question. As the director, she should know where the funds are going from any kind of fundraising. And because it's a nonprofit, I would think there would be almost 100% transparency as to where the funds are going. Plus, their upcoming gala is at a well-known country club that I have been to before for events, and I know how much galas cost. So again, how can you run an organization and not know or not be willing to share the answers to my questions? That just tells me that they have no Indigenous representation, let alone Lenape tribe or nation representation. And I believe it's actually been over a week now since I've heard from anybody. She apparently CC'd this other person, and I have yet to hear from this other person. This is clearly another situation of appropriation, literally appropriation of culture, appropriation of art. How can you have non-Indigenous people creating depictions of Native and Indigenous culture? More importantly, how can you not have a specific tribe that you literally have on platforms throughout your conservatory not be a part of? And of course, I always do my due diligence, I do my research, and I found the headquarters to the Lenape tribe and nation in New Jersey, and I will be reaching out to them shortly. I have several friends who are actually Lenape, and the few that I have discussed this with are quite upset about this, but they're not surprised. And just because this is like a norm for people to appropriate and to use other people's culture, it doesn't mean it's right. This is the time for change. This is the time to call people out on their nonsense. This is the time to make people aware that they can't use other people's culture and not include those other people. And the fact that she stated where our work overlaps is complete nonsense, because everything that they do on that designated land is the business of Native, Indigenous, but more specifically Lenape people. The more I read it, the more I see the truth within her words, and the fact that she does not want to share pertinent information that is relevant to everything. I will be making a trip to this conservatory very soon, as I used to go there. I will certainly take pictures, take videos. I will also probably go live at some point, maybe even organize an event to bring awareness to what they're doing and the fact that they're appropriating the hell out of the situation and the Lenape culture. I am not Lenape, but the fact that I observe this, experience this, and see just how ridiculous and disgusting it is for nonprofits who are clearly profiting from this, just take other people's culture and profit off of it and use it as their own, and just don't have any regard for the people that it's about. As an Indigenous individual, I know it's my duty. As a truth seeker, it is my duty. And as a healer, it is my duty as well, because this affects all Indigenous people. Because this is not the only place that is doing this. And it's not okay. It's not okay at all. Feel free to comment, share, send to others to spread the word, and I will certainly be sharing the full name and location of this conservatory, Creek, shortly.